So today we've got a car door lined up that we've taken off of a mid to late 90s Camaro. So this door is primarily made of fiberglass, but it still has all the guts inside of it. The only thing I did was I took the window out of it so that we don't have glass shards all over the gun range. We've also got our FBI gel block from Clear Ballistics here. We've turned it around since we've used this one, and there was a delay for my gel mold coming in the mail. So this side of the gel block is perfectly clear, and we're going to go ahead and use that for our test. Now let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start out with our FMJ, and we're going to work our way down the table here with these several rounds. Who knows, maybe the round that you carry is in this lineup here. There's a woodpecker here somewhere back in the woods. This guy's been going to town. But for our first one, for our control, we're going to be loaded up with one round of 9mm. That is 115 grain, and let's go ahead and get our baseline. Okay, so here is our entry here with our FMJ, and we hit the block just down here, and our wound channel went straight through this back right there. And as you saw in the slow motion, it went all the way through out the back and that way. So FMJ blasted through it, which I was kind of expecting. So we can now continue. So next up, we've got SimX. I found this one recently at my local ammo store. This one is actually lighter and a higher FPS than both the Liberty Spike and the Liberty Civil Defense and Ultralights. This one has a 2250 feet per second and is a 45 grain round. And we're loaded up. It looks pretty similar to the Spike, just doesn't really have as much weight to it, and it's in a brass case. So we've seen what the Spike can do already. Let's see how this one does going through the door with more speed. Wow, so watching that one on the slow motion was really good. And that round performed excellent. I mean, there's our shot. Came right in. You saw that expansion, big wound channel. And just look how far, look at that permanent wound cavity that came there. And there's our round with good expansion, fragmenting. That little piece right here, that's my finger is right above, that is part of the Spike from the previous test, but that one is what broke off from there. And there is all of our copper round inside there. I mean, that's impressive. That's SimX. I'd say it's pretty good. I mean, speed won this time. So I'm going to move down a little bit just so that we can try and get a little bit more meat that's inside this door, because there was some extra stuff in there. All right, so next up, we're going to try out the Liberty Spike. We've seen what this one can do already with just bare gel and how it dispersed all of its energy immediately as soon as it made contact with the gel block. But I'm interested this time to see if it's actually going to stop sooner. But after how that SimX just did, I'm thinking it's going to do pretty well. This one is 1900 feet per second, and this is a 55 grain, and it looks a lot like that SimX that we just tried. We're going to go ahead and see how this performs. Well, I've got to say that did exceptionally well, but we didn't record the slow-mo, so we're going to do it again. All right, so I shot a little bit high, but you can see the first one that we did that we missed on the slow-mo, and we'll turn it on our side here. You can see the first one here, and then how it just kept going with that Spike, but that permanent wound cavity there is beautiful. And you can see where the petals had broken off. The second one that we just caught on the slow-mo up here, you can see how it expanded. That light is messing me up, boy. I mean, it is just, yeah. I mean, it came out the top, but all your fragments are all still there, and all that energy was displaced in the very front. So I'd say that performed pretty damn good. Okay, now next we're moving to the Magtech. This Magtech is a 90 grain and it is a jacketed soft point. Flat nose. I don't know how this is going to do. I'm very interested though. I'm hoping we get some expansion into that gel block after it goes through the door. All right, that Magtech performed pretty good. I was surprised. I mean, it caused this big wound channel here. There was a lot of expansion into that gel block there. But it did zip all the way through and it came out the back, went that way somewhere. So I'd say, yeah, that's going to go through and keep going. But could that be because it was a heavier round? One thing that I'm surprised about is that we haven't had any deviation with these hollow points going through, also being as light as they are, but could that be because it's just, they're so fast? Next up, we've got the Barnes TAC-X PD, and this is a 115 grain. And we've seen this one perform in the last video as well that we did with the ballistic gel. This one expanded very well, had great penetration. I was highly impressed with the Barnes. And I'm pretty excited to see how it's going to perform now with our gel block. Now let's go see how it does through this car door. All right, so there's no slow motion to review because the Barnes did not penetrate. We hit right here, just above this hole. So right here is where I was aiming. And you can see it made a bigger hole with the Barnes, but right there, it did not come through. So the Barnes did not penetrate the door, which is very interesting. I'm wondering if it's because of the expansion. It just expanded inside of the door. I mean, we're using a fiberglass door, and really car doors nowadays are not made from sheet metal. They're mostly made from a very tough, durable type of urethane of some sort. So, you know, we're still using an accurate representation. Or if you're in a sports car of some sort, you know, you stole your dad's Corvette or something like that, you know, accurate. Now I'm wondering as we get to the heavier rounds if they're going to be stopped as well. So next up, we're loaded with a fan favorite. A lot of people like this round. This is the Federal Punch in 124 grain. A lot of people love this round, and we shall see how she performs. It's a hollow point as well. Let's see if because we're going heavier in the weights, if they start to slow down inside the door. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're onto something here. Again, no penetration with the 124 grain. Our gel block did not get touched. There we were again, right in the same area. And nothing. So, did not go through. I've really got to give a big thanks to everybody that's been watching my videos, especially the last ballistic gel video that we did, because so many viewers had so many great suggestions in there, and it's helped me improve my filming. It's helped me improve my setup and everything. And I try to make these changes as soon as possible. So I had one commenter here that had said that you need to do some kind of black background of some sort. So I went ahead and got a black table to put our gel block on. And then somebody else said, somebody get this man another camera. Well, I went and found a camera laying around, another phone. It's not as great quality, but we've got another angle of everything going on. But because of viewers like you and leaving comments down there in these suggestions, I listen, I respond personally, and we do this together to improve the content that we get out here. So to continue this journey that we're going through here, we're just getting started. I would love and appreciate every single one if you go ahead and hit that follow, subscribe, share it to your friends, leave a comment down below what you liked, what you didn't like. Let me know if you carry any of these rounds as well, or if there's another caliber you want to see tested in this same configuration of some sort. Also, since we have been able to penetrate through with the lighter weight grains of these 9mm, I will do a bonus at the end. We're going to go ahead and run a 10mm hollow point and see how that does But first up, we've got the Winchester Defender. This is a 9mm. This is a 147 grain. This is different from the silver tip that we used in the last video, but we do have a nickel plated casing here, and let's see how this one goes and performs through our door, or does it get stopped just like all the other higher grains ever since we've gotten over 100 grain. Ladies and gentlemen, again, it has stopped in that spot. So I don't know if maybe it's something inside the car door here that we're hitting. So let's go ahead and move down a little bit, and we'll go ahead and give this 147 another try. See if we can get through. Maybe it's just this spot in the door. All right, so we did go through the door. It appears we went through another hole and it had deviated. This is where we hit and came out the side right here. Our bullet kept on going. So there's our wound channel here. But it did not do much expansion. So yeah, I guess higher grain does not really perform too well through the barriers, because this one that went through right here was very lightweight. That was early in our testing. So let's go ahead and get the 10mm out, and let's see how we can do in that fresh area where we haven't really touched any real estate there. So for our final shot, we're going to be loaded up with our 10mm. This is a jacketed hollow point. This is the Sig Sauer Elite Defense, and I don't know the stats on hand, but here they are right here. And we're going to be shooting this out of the Smith & Wesson Performance Center 2.0. I love this thing. That comp is huge. And you got this little guy back there. Shout out Dogwood Armory. Got to go hit them up. So let's go hit this with this single round, and let's see how it performs. Maybe we're all going to be switching to 10mm here in a minute. So our 10mm came through with some force. That was some violent action on that gel block. But this is exactly where we came through with our 10. As you saw, it came through, massive expansion, dead smack in the middle of the block here. And then it just kept on going through. And our first boo-boo on our new black table. And I mean, that thing was moving. I had to slow it down even more to be able to catch it on the high speed. And we've been able to catch all the good shots on this with the 9mm using our normal speed. So that's going to wrap up today's video. I thank every single one of you for coming and watching this all the way through to the end. You're the real MVP. If you enjoyed today's video, please give a like, subscribe, share it to your friends. Leave a comment below if you want to see some other test done similar to hiding behind the barrier and then going into a gel block. Also, let me know what you think about that 10mm going all the way through. I mean, there's people who carry 10, and that is over penetrating. We went through the door and all the way out the gel block and into my new table. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Target Precision. My name is Chris, and remember, there is no replacement for perfect shot placement. Oh man, we ruined my brand new table.